Hello Libra and welcome to your monthly forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. Great to see everybody. This reading can be used for Sun, Rising, and Moon, and it's going to help you out with the next 6 to 8 weeks. Let's go ahead now and focus on the channeled messages. The first thing that came through in dreams today was the honeybee, and in particular I was shown two things that the honeybee is responsible for: pollination and then the honey itself. For the pollination piece, I featured the Eight of Wands, and this is a really good card if you're pulling for yourself and you're like the owner of a small business or a student or just someone that's trying to get a lot of work done. It basically is showing the ability to see a predictable, productive flow, and that, Libra, is what's making itself available to you this month. You can get a lot done. If you're feeling just a little bit overwhelmed, first of all, you can always delegate, you can always take a step back, but more importantly, Spirit wouldn't give you more than you can handle, so try to just trust in your ability and really connect with the Queen Bee energy of the Empress and just, take the lead. This is a chance for people to see that you can think on your feet, you can juggle a lot of things at once, and you can also lead the team if you want to. I'd also like to take a minute just to talk about how pollen can sometimes be an irritant. So this is more about things in your environment. And when we look at the environment card, I'll try to remember that. But this could be a person, place, or thing that creates friction, irritation, agitation, or might even be toxic. And it can be a relationship or an activity. And basically the universe is saying it's time to let that go because you have a lot of other things to focus on this month. The last thing that I want to talk about is just that honey is sweet. And for many of you, the work, the energy, and the effort to get through whatever it is that might be in front of you basically yields a positive result. Success is sweet. The ability just to prove that you can do it can be very fulfilling and satisfactory. So keep that on the horizon, and hopefully that will help inspire you. The next thing that I saw in dreams was a mirror that didn't reflect reality. So as a third party, as someone that was looking at the person looking at their own reflection, I could see that the two didn't sync up. Sometimes the reflection was frozen and they would move and the reflection wouldn't, or sometimes they would move this way and the reflection would do the opposite. And this card in the Light Seers deck is a perfect example of the disconnect, a distorted lens, or sometimes buying into someone else's projected reality. So don't let other people's fears or anxieties get in the way of you seeing what's possible. Sometimes this happens when a parent or loved one basically makes you afraid to do something because they don't want you to experience failure. But in the process, you can't see your potential for success. That's one example. Sometimes we only look at the critical aspects. And so when we're looking in the mirror, we see more like this, the person that, is just kind of tied up in all of this anxious energy, rather than the successful, capable person that I'm seeing when I'm looking at it. And you can see this person here. There are two different versions. So allow yourself to explore something beyond what you've been told you can do or what you're afraid of. The truth is things look better, things look brighter. So release that fear so you can experience and explore the possibilities. That's really everything in a nutshell here. Let's move on to the final message. And this was a very technology-oriented piece of information. What I was looking at basically was someone typing a group email, and then I saw it sent out, and then I saw a range of reactions, many of which were not ideal. And what I discerned from this basically, or was able to kind of figure out, was that one size does not fit all when it comes to certain messages. It's going to be better for you, especially if there's a challenging or difficult piece of news to deliver, to have a face-to-face, one-on-one, or talk to smaller groups. For the rest of you, let's say that there's nothing challenging, it's just an important message. It's also reminding you that everybody interprets messages differently. There may be visual learners, there may be people that need to see it in black and white, or people that like to listen. Make sure that you're segmenting and reaching all of those different audiences. This is especially important for business owners. One size does not and will not fit all. And if you're given the choice, this is especially true of important negotiations, of doing it directly, one-on-one, in person. Always take that over an indirect sort of thing like email or some sort of form on the web. Human interactions are going to be really important. And I know we're really going more towards everything being automated and everything being remote. But if you can meet face-to-face, you can avoid miscommunications and sometimes just misinterpretations when it comes to what's being said. Definitely avoid a group chat, group email, or mass email if you can. And I sometimes even on TikTok, I'll see people that are annoyed when they're given like CC'd on an email chain that they don't need to be. So for those of you in a corporate or school environment, if someone doesn't need to be looped in, take that chain and make it smaller and more relevant to the people that are on it, or summarize, or again, have a one-on-one sort of meeting where you can just tell them what's going on. Okay, this is going to save you time. People are going to be really grateful that they didn't get looped into something that they don't need to be, and it's going to hopefully help foster more sort of relationship building in the future, where people will look at you as that queen bee that we talked about earlier, someone that can manage a lot of things, that knows when to connect people and when to take a step back. All right, let's go ahead now, give the cards a shuffle and see what else is coming through for the next 6 to 8 weeks. All right, Libra, close your eyes, focus on any question that you have and then let it go and just allow what needs to come through to come through. All right, open your eyes and let's see what the universe has in store here. Nice synchronicity there with the Lovers coming through. All right, let's begin here with your catalyst card first and foremost. You received the fish, and to me, this is a really great symbol of sensitivity, creativity, love. But what I also got from Spirit is that some of you may feel a little bit like a fish out of water. You may be thrust into a new situation where you don't have that same comfort level that you've always had in the past. But because this is sensitive, creative, and flexible, you're actually going to thrive. In fact, again, if we look at your crowning card, it's none other than the King of Cups. And if we look at the throne here, I'll pull it in the upright position, we see a fish right there. So this is saying, allow yourself to flow with whatever opportunity or energy comes your way, and try not to let your emotions get in the way of possibilities. As I take a look at all the cards in front of us, I'm quite happy to see that you're represented by movement itself here, the Six of Swords. And for many of you, you're breaking free from either isolation or stagnation. So those are a couple of highlights. Most of the cards here are very, very positive, very few challenging ones. The only one I see is in the environment, Nine of Swords. I featured the Eight of Swords in the channel messages, but I'm seeing Nine of Swords here. So stress management, emotional management, very nicely aligned to what I was talking about. Let's take it card by card. Let's start with the Lovers at the center. If you're ready for a breakthrough, Libra, the universe is ready to deliver. The one thing that could be standing in the way is simple disbelief. The Lovers, when in the upright position, represents love, abundance, opportunity, all in the highest forms. I also interpret this as a magnet, meaning that if you're ready and willing to bring something into your life, synchronicities can start to come through. We also see on this particular illustration a rainbow, and that represents healing. And so for some of you, you could be on the heels of a breakup, a separation, a disappointment, and now you're starting to see that as difficult as that was, it sets you up for something bigger. And crossing this card was the Star. This is like a cosmically aligned partnership or opportunity. So when it happens, when you meet opportunity face to face, believe in yourself, because disbelief doubt, or lack of faith. That's the main thing that can get in the way. I'll go through the whole reading, but right at the beginning, you're given the key to success. Believe in yourself, okay? And allow others to step in and provide support. This could be someone who says, hey, I know someone that you can talk to, or I'd love to help you out, or have you considered tapping into this resource? There's support available. All you have to do is say, I'm ready, okay? That's the first message. And yes, if you're looking for love, absolutely, Libra, this is a month to find new love or to reconcile or to forgive or to heal. And it's a higher love coming through. When I look at a relationship reading and I get like Judgment or the Star or the Lovers or multiples of these, like it basically represents higher relationships. So this could be the exact person that you need in business to help open up an opportunity. This, of course, also represents you. The light wants to shine on you if you're willing to step into the spotlight. So you are the star, you're attracting the star, and it's time to basically show your true colors. Beautiful energy. And just like the World card, the star represents the ability to expand your reach. So in business, in life, in general, you have this amazing capacity to go further than you normally would. This is a great month, suffice it to say, okay? This is also a highly spiritual card. So if for those of you that want to go a little bit deeper into your own spiritual path, absolutely. Let's go ahead and see what else is coming through here. We got the Queen Bee herself here, the Empress. I mentioned that leadership is going to be an important piece this month. So be ready to step into the driver's seat. Be willing to speak up if someone asks you for your opinion. And also focus on personal development. The Empress card is about not just being a boss, but development, creation, and birthing. So if there's something that you want to see come to fruition, yes, it's ready, but you have to continue to play that role of fostering, creating, and supporting, okay? And if you can do that, I feel like some really, really great things are en route to you. As we take a look here at the recent past here, we have the Hermit. This is a card that represents experience, education, research, knowledge acquisition. If you want to do any of that, absolutely, this card represents that. For those of you that have already done some of this, the reversed Hermit is about coming out of that phase, out of your shell, if you will, and stepping into the real world and applying the knowledge. So you're more prepared than you may give yourself credit for. Also, even if you haven't done all the research and the education and the inner work, there is intuition that's coming through that will help you pick the right path as well. So trust in both your internal knowledge and your intuition. You will not be led astray if you do that. Also, you're being nudged to say yes to some invitations, whether it's a chance to go to a party or a professional event. Something of that nature could absolutely open up doors for you because we have Lovers and King of Cups energy here. And also the Star. So the spotlight wants to shine on you, but we see hesitation when it comes to socializing, getting out there, and allowing yourself to be seen. There's a protective vibe that I get with all of this. And so some of you have been protecting yourself because maybe you're on the heels of a breakup or a separation, as we talked about with the Lovers. But just like I said earlier, there is a rainbow this month that is basically on, like a canopy over this reading. And so if you allow yourself to step into recovery, growth, and expansion, now is the time, all right? The Hermit is also a mentorship card. So whether you want to step into the role of teacher or mentor, or you want to seek one out, this is also a great time for that. Ultimately, though, because the card was reversed, again, it's a nudge to get out of your comfort zone, even if, or especially if you feel like a fish out of water. You're going to be okay. You'll still land on your feet. Let's look at your crowning card next. The King of Cups in reverse. Simply put, many of you are feeling heightened sensitivity right now. You might be a little bit more emotional, more than you normally are. You may be picking up on other people's energies a little bit more acutely than you normally would, or accurately even. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just about pacing yourself, taking care of yourself, and if you need to, basically saying no to certain things so that you have time to ground yourself and feel safe, all right? Safety and comfort are definitely important pieces, especially with the Hermit and the Empress. Now, in the upright position, this could simply be joy, happiness, and love. Some of you haven't given yourself permission to experience this for whatever reason. Maybe because you feel like, I've talked about pain as a teacher. It doesn't have to be the only teacher, so you don't have to go through struggle or turmoil in order to show strength and endurance. And also, if someone just comes through and says, you're amazing, or job well done, or you're the one for this opportunity, sometimes all you have to do is say, thanks, yeah, let's try this, okay? So I feel like a big message that keeps coming through time and again is don't let disbelief, fear, or anxiety stop you from experiencing the expansion and joy that really wants to come through for you. In the near future, we have Hanged Man here, the Hanged Man, and it is in the reverse state. So this is saying you're exactly where you need to be right now. There could be someone in your life that is trying to push you into something, into a job, into marriage, into doing something that doesn't feel right. Don't allow yourself to be pushed. Don't force yourself either to do something before you're ready. This is encouraging you to take one more breath, one more moment wherever you are, and fully see it from all perspectives. This is a slightly unusual version of the Hanged Man. I'm going to pull the traditional one up for comparison, but in the traditional card, we see a halo, here it is, around the crown chakra of this person. And we also see them just gazing or looking at the world from a different angle. The key to success right now is to make sure that you're looking at it from all perspectives. And if you do that, you'll be all right. You'll be able to be at peace with where you're at and possibly see a solution that's right in front of you. And that is going to help you with the next card here, which is moving on, moving forward, moving in general. I love that this is representing you. There is no stagnation, or if there is, it's not going to continue through the end of the month. The main question with the Six of Swords, and it's one that only you can answer, Libra, is, do you want to be in the driver's seat? Because we have a passenger and we have a rower in this card. With the Empress energy, there is an encouragement from Spirit to take that oar and steer the ship in the direction that it needs to be. This can represent, you're like, okay, break it down for me, Nicholas. This is what this can represent. Some of you are physically moving or traveling this month. That's exactly what you should be doing. Some of you are taking the first steps after a difficult sort of path, and this is a path to recovery, basically. So healing, moving, and also for some of you, this is an encouragement to reach out beyond what you thought you could do or where you could go, because the Star card is one of maximum visibility, and this one is one of maximum reach. So when it comes to your capacity, you can go further than expected. When it comes to a business, you can take the idea and amplify it beyond what you thought. And in general, the possibilities are not as limited as you might have thought previously. I mentioned earlier that I wanted to pay a little bit of special attention to the environment, so let's do just that right now here. We have the Nine of Swords. It's in the reverse position. It's basically saying don't underestimate the importance of getting ample sleep, and don't let stress get you down. The traditional card shows both of those things happening. Someone losing sleep over a fear or anxiety. The reversal of this is letting go and focusing on self-care. So stress management is so important this month, whether you're doing that through meditation, through exercise, or through therapy, or a combination of those things. This is the most important thing. Also, really focusing on both the quality and the quantity of sleep. That's going to be key too. If anything is inhibiting that quality or quantity, obviously that's what you're going to put your focus on and allow yourself to move forward. In the environment, you have the Nine of Pentacles. This is kind of an unusual illustration for Nine of Pentacles, namely because the person looks a little bit forlorn. We're going to talk about the squirrel in just a second, but in the main card, we actually see abundance and ease. We also see basically that snail at the bottom, which is about pacing yourself. You don't have to finish first. You don't have to finish with the most noise or fanfare. Take your time. Do it right the first time and do something that is fulfilling for you. And however long that takes, that's exactly how long it should be for you. It's not about measuring or comparing yourself to others. Ultimately, though, this is in possibilities. this card is opening you up to more abundance than you need or might imagine. This is a card of more than enough, and it's a very positive energy to come in anywhere in the spread. The main thing to focus on is this feeling of ease and the pacing involved here. Now let's look at this illustration. We have someone here that looks just a little bit forlorn or worried, but then they're gazing over at the squirrel, and to me, this represents a hidden resource or opportunity. Squirrels are very good at basically saving for a rainy day. They take their, the nut that they've got from the tree and basically bury it, and they have a ton of buried treasure or buried resources. For some of you, you may have forgotten that you put something to the side for that rainy day. So you have a contingency fund, you have a backup plan. You may also simply have people and resources around you that want to come forth and that can help you. And it's just a matter of saying, hey, remember when you said, if I ever needed something? Well, this is one of those moments. So tap into that stored up resource that you have, and then that could help you with the final card, which is wish fulfillment. I love this Nine of Cups because we have a genie on this card, and it's reminding you not to give up on a dream, on a wish, or on a goal. So really focus on keeping that front and center in your third eye, in your mind, on a vision board, and never give up on the wish. One thing that you always want to be mindful of with the Nine of Cups is not to go to extremes either. So when it comes to doing anything in your life, moderation is key. Let's expand the forecast now and take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to start off with health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. As we take a look at the health message, we have toadstools and growth. The toadstool, of course, is a type of mushroom, and for some of you, this is representing a need to basically clear and clean things out. I talked about irritants earlier, right? When I was picking up on pollen. And so for some of you, there could be something in the environment that's creating like spores here. So this could be mold. It could also be other allergens in the air that could kind of exacerbate issues with the lungs. So we really want to focus on that. Sometimes these things can grow in filters that haven't been cleaned for a while. So if you have central air conditioning, if you have an air filter, or even in the car, there are filters there. We sometimes forget to change those on a regular basis. This is a nudge from the universe to do just that. And then in places that have a lot of moisture, kitchens, bathrooms, etc. This is about making sure that you do proper cleaning to just inhibit bacterial growth. So whether it's fungus, bacteria, pollen, dust, etc., this is very nicely aligned to what I was picking up on in dreams. So make sure that you're doing some things to clear out allergens. Growth is a good part. So if we take out the toadstool and just focus on growth, this could be emotional growth. You could also be maybe improving your own physical health. It could be the growth of muscle, etc. So there are some positive aspects to that too, but we definitely want to focus on clearing and cleaning. Now let's take a look at the cards and see what other energetic messages are coming forth. So the Hanged Man can represent a lack of movement. We have the Empress card, the Hermit card, which is sometimes indoors too much, a King card. All of those are very stationary. So one thing that you can focus on this month is basically making sure that you're getting enough movement. Also, because the Hermit represents things being closed, it might be advantageous to open up the windows, make sure that there's enough fresh air coming through your house or your office, also to help with just, general well-being. Let's see. The other thing that I see here with the Nine of Swords, as we talked about, it can be the quality and the quantity of sleep. It can be your stress management. And if any of those things are out of balance, that's the number one thing that you should be focusing on. As I said earlier, avoid extremes. The Nine of Cups can represent overworking, overeating, overdrinking. For those of you that have achieved sobriety, this is also about avoiding temptations. Let me see what else. Emotional health and mental health, definitely very important this month. Like I said, heightened sensitivity is a big part of the energy that's coming through. So whatever you need to do in order to basically decompress or channel that heightened sensitivity, that's going to be key. Otherwise, I quite like what I see here, and there's not too many other things to focus on. Hanged Man, there's one last message. If I can get the traditional card, here we go. So whenever the Hanged Man comes through, you want to pay special attention to your ankle in particular, but your foot as well. So If it's been a while since you've changed your shoe, your boot, or whatever it is that you basically wear on your feet, now is the time to focus on that. If there's anything like issues with your Achilles tendon, with your heel, or the foot in general, get that looked at, okay? Mostly very manageable when we're looking here at health. And let's go ahead now and move on to wealth. This is your resources, your life purpose, and for those of you that are working, your messages around career. All right, the oracle card here is open your heart. The caption on this says, "Thank you, Archangel Chamuel, for removing barriers around my heart." And this really nicely connects to what we saw here at the center, which was the Lovers. That basically means that for many of you, especially if you've been overachieving, trying to please other people in your life, whether it's friends or family, or if you've been putting your own needs on the back burner, in this moment in time, you're being encouraged from the universe to basically follow through on those dreams, on those goals, which again connects nicely to the wish fulfillment card. You owe it to yourself because the star and the stars are aligning to kind of help everything come into focus this month. Let's take a look now at those that are working, and then I'll follow up with those that are seeking work and those that are retired or students. Those that currently have a job, here's what I see for you. I'd like to briefly revisit the Lovers in reverse. This is basically the universe saying, learn how to accept a compliment. So if someone comes through and says, you did an amazing job on this, all you have to do is from a place of complete authenticity, just say, that made my day, or I worked really hard on this, thank you. What this does is show people that you're in this with them, you care, you're engaged, and also you're valuable. And they may then realize, wow, they have a passion there. Maybe I should give them more of this. They seem interested in and engaged. You can even use this, especially if we're looking at current employment opportunities, as a chance to express dreams and ambitions with your boss or supervisor. So say you're welcome and then say, I'd like to talk about how we could do more of this. Okay, so that's one message here is never say it was nothing when in fact it was something. You're welcome. I worked hard. It means the world that this resonated. Okay, that's the right way to approach this. Many of you are stepping into a moment where the spotlight is shining. People may ask you for your advice. You may be put on the spot, but you're actually going to be able to accomplish something great in this moment as long as you don't get in your own way. And one of the areas of opportunity where you can improve a little bit is in public speaking or just being comfortable in front of a group. So if there are any extracurricular activities where you can get your sort of your public speaking muscle warmed up a bit, that could be great. Whether it's a public speaking class or you're just starting to talk a little bit more in groups, this is going to help you because it feels like there's more visibility opportunities that are coming forth. This month, make sure that you let people know what it is you're passionate about. We talked about that earlier, but your passion, your enthusiasm, and your charisma, these are things that are going to supercharge the Lovers card and the Star card. So basically, the more engaged you are, the more engaged others are, and the more opportunities that people might present to you. Okay, what else? It might be advantageous to travel for business or work. So we talked about conferences. If there's something that's out of town, etc., this is a great chance to not only get a break from the sort of stagnation that you might be feeling, but also meet some new people. So it's a great time to travel for work. Some of you may also have recently moved to a new house or a new job, and this is just about letting the dust settle. Stress management is key. We talked about this from a health perspective, but also from a work perspective. Don't take on too much. We see abundance and we see wish fulfillment. So stress management is the only thing that could impede those two things. Moving on now to those that are seeking employment. It's a great time to do so. The Star card indicates not only your capacity to make a splash, but it's also giving you a key tactic to how to be successful. And that is to basically embody the energy of the star, rather than what we were talking about earlier here with the projections or the distorted lens. If we look at the bottom of the card again, we see someone here that's very capable, that's grounded, that's ready. But when we look at the projection up here or the perception, sometimes it is the insecurity. So we don't want to put that out there. We want to put out this feeling like it's going to be okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Again, making sure that you're not going down that rabbit hole that is a part of both the 8 and the 9 of Swords. That's going to be number one key to success. If you're looking for work, we have a travel component here with the 6 of Swords. This means that you might find a job in a different city, state, country, or province, or there could be an opportunity for you to split your time between the office and home. So teleworking basically, or telecommuting. There are 3 9 cards in a row, and I think I just tapped into that right now. So we're looking at possibly 9 days from the day that you put in a job application, or up to 27 days. It may take, you might sort of have multiple interviews and multiple intervals before something is done. It could take up to a month, folks, because this is just shy of a month if we add all of the 9s together. So give it some time. By the end of the month, you're in a better place. And we do have a wish fulfillment card here in the shape of the 9 of Cups. So I would give it up to a full month for something to come through. It looks like it's really important for you to have creative flexibility at your new job. So make sure you're looking for those opportunities. Get out of your existing sort of shell here with the Hermit. Utilize your social and your professional network. That is the key to success here, and that will help you break through stagnation. Some of you just want to start your own business, and entrepreneurial energy is definitely a part of this. You can do it on your own, just as long as you have the financial capability here to launch that. So check into your finances as well. Other than that, I'm quite happy with what I see. So it does look like something could come through, but it might take the better part of a month to do so. It could require a move as well. And all that being said, I like that there's a 9 of Pentacles here. That shows that there's a good offer on the table eventually. All right. For those of you that are students, it feels like there are 2 things that are kind of pulling you back a bit, 3 maybe. One is you might be spending too much time indoors or studying. You may feel like you're stuck right now and you're really impatient to get to that graduation point, or you just graduated and you're not sure what to do next. We'll talk about that in a second. The main thing here, though, is just stress management. What I like for students is the outcome is wish fulfillment. The suggestion right now is don't make an immediate decision. Give yourself up to 3 weeks before kind of embarking on whatever the next sort of like opportunity is. It feels like you might even just be burned out a bit. Ultimately, though, as long as you love what you're doing, you're okay. And we do see a really positive card spreading its energy across this spread. But the important thing here is to slow down long enough to decide if this is what you want and if you need to make any changes. We're at a point in the year right now where you probably are going to be more looking at the fall semester, right? Or the end of the year semester for those in the Southern Hemisphere. So this is giving you a chance to recalibrate, finish up what you've started, and think really strategically about the next step. Retirees, travel is coming through. You might be traveling when you see this, or you might be wanting to plan a trip because this typically shows that. There is some stress around money, but this is typically a good card or showing that you're going to be in a better place than you might anticipate. So just educate and research all of the sort of money and resource opportunities in front of you. Have some fun. We haven't talked about like the positive aspects of this beyond wish fulfillment, and that can just be saying, you know what, today is a great day. Let's do something to celebrate how far we've come. So having a party, having a gathering, doing something with friends and family, that's also coming through in this moment in time. Some of you have just found new love potentially as well, and that's a nice segue into the next component. We're going to talk about relationships. So love touches all of the relationships in our lives, from family to friends to romantic partnerships. And when we're looking here at your card, basically comprising this whole area, we have karmic board clearing. What a powerful card. Let's pull this to the main camera here. It says, energetic clearing, rewrite your story, live your truth. Yes, yes, and yes to that. So if anything in your life doesn't serve a higher purpose, isn't really sort of bringing both of you into a place of peace and happiness, it's time to clear that. You don't have to repeat the history of your family or even what the two of you have done in the past. Live your truth and really see this as a fresh start. Let's go ahead and break this down into 3 major categories. Those in a relationship, looking for a relationship, and those that are single and happy. For existing relationships, the fact that we have the Star card and the Lovers reversed here, it's basically showing that there is so much similarity in some aspect of your personality that conversations can sometimes break down. Or you're having a difficult time in compromise. What I like about this, though, is that at the heart of it is love, is this sort of unconditional love. So it's just about getting it back to that if there is a disagreement or if there is something where you have to just take a step back and think, why are we so upset? I think we want the same thing. Let's make it work, okay? So rise above and show that sense of unconditional love and support, and maybe lead the way to sort of peace or compromise. That's the main thing there. Some of you may be new parents. There also could just be simply a power dynamic that is at the center here, because Hermit and Empress energy very much like to have things their own way. The Hermit will shut down. The Empress sometimes will overpower the Hermit. That doesn't mean that the Hermit is weak. It's just saying that the Hermit would rather not argue. But ultimately, over time, that is going to create tension and resentment. So listening is so powerful in holding space and really checking in with one another. So asking the partner, I haven't checked in for a while. How was today truly? Or how do you feel about this? Or is there anything that I need to do to help you out with this? Hold space. Let them answer. If they give something critical, you could just say, thanks, I wasn't aware of that. Let me think about that. Let me think about how I can help. Try not to react immediately, just receive. A big message this month is not only about receiving, positive feedback, but also potentially constructive feedback so you can grow, especially in a relationship. Your emotions and or your partner's emotions could be running high, especially with these 2 cards, sensitivity, and again, taking it to the ultimate level. So when things are great, they're great. When they're challenging, they're super challenging, and they could get into a place where stress takes over. So be mindful of that. One person could be very much on the rise, and the other person could feel a little stuck. The secret here, though, is that like attracts like, and what really is happening is one person might be plateauing just long enough for that one to rise, and then you'll have your chance to. Everybody can shine. Just because someone's shining doesn't mean that the other one isn't. So celebrate one another's success. Even if you're not exactly where you want to be or they're not where they want to be, remind one another that this is a joint journey and you both get turns in the spotlight, right? There's room for 2 stars in this relationship. And if the partner has a hard time with that or you have a hard time with that, that's the area of growth that you want to really focus on. Karmically speaking, since we have karma board clearing here, it is around control and allowing each other to basically be co-piloting. It's not about one boss. 2 stars, 2 bosses, Emperor and Empress. That's really what you want to be focusing on right now, okay? We do have a wish fulfillment card here, and ultimately, that's something to celebrate. Let's now take a look at those that may be looking for a new relationship. It's pretty darn good, I have to say. The Lovers card, the Star card, and the King of Cups. If these were all in the upright position, it's a storybook ending. This is exactly what I'd want to see. With this card reversed, it's just about tuning into your own sensitivity and your own emotional health first. With this card, it's about not disbelieving something positive when it comes through. So in other words, if you meet this wonderful King of Cups energy, welcome it in and know that you've called that in. I think that's the main sort of challenge for many Libras this month, is not getting in your own way, because I see the possibility for lovely water energy to come through, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Or it could just be someone who really gets who you are, and good for you. You deserve to be happy. That's a big message here. And it says here, you can rewrite your story. So if you've been in a sort of part of your life where it's been very much hermit or hanged man, it's all changing this month if you want it to, if you're open to it. The other hurdle this month is your own stress and your own stress management or lack thereof. So it's going to be really important to create systems of support in your life. This can be getting adequate sleep, making sure that you have proper stress relief like exercise options in front of you. And then also leaning on the support of friends, therapists, etc. All right. Where can you meet people? Through existing networks or finding new activities in your life as well. And that could involve travel, by the way. So while you're working or while you're traveling, you have a great chance of meeting someone. So I definitely encourage travel and networking this month in the work component, because it's going to help in the love component as well. And just don't rush things. The Hanged Man is there to say, take it slow, slow and steady. Same thing when we looked at the traditional Nine of Pentacles. I was saying that little, snail is saying slow and steady wins the race. So if you find a partner this month, just get to know them. Really enjoy the courtship process. That's going to be key. We do have a wish fulfillment card here. So ultimately, I think it's a great time to get out there and meet new people. There is a maturity and a sort of power dynamic at play here in new relationships. Karmically speaking, that's going to be important to pay attention to. Remember, like attracts like. You're only pulling in someone of the same frequency. So if they're amazing, so are you. Don't give in to what we were talking about earlier when it comes to the fear or anxiety that was a part of this Eight of Swords. See your true potential this month. That's the big gift. That's the big opportunity. All right, focusing now on those who are happily single. Here's what I see for you. Again, a chance to travel, a chance for resource development this month. You can make some money. Some of you are also finding a way to express your creativity. I think that there's a chance also to meet new people. It doesn't have to be lovers. It could be friends, colleagues, or possibly even if you're looking for a mentorship or a teaching opportunity, that's definitely in the works here. All right, let's take a look now at your Destiny card. Destiny is the trajectory that you set up for yourself. It changes a little every month. We have the bridge, and it's a bridge over troubled water. And look at how nicely it connects to the lovers. I mentioned that I thought at the very beginning this represented healing or rebounding energy. We're getting that here. We're also getting how important it is to reach out for help, how important it is to say thank you when love and support comes through, and how important overall it is to network and foster these extracurricular friend networks, peer networks, all of that. It's not just about your partnership. It's about all of the extended friendships, families, and different people in your life. That bridge, those connections are going to be ones that last a lifetime. So spend some time investing in that larger network that we would see in cards like the Ten of Pentacles or the Ten of Cups. Let's go ahead now and take a deeper dive into Sun, Rising, and Moon sign messages and see what else is coming through for you, Libra. Sun, Rising, and Moon. Speaking of 10, we got the 10 of Pentacles there. All right, let's start off first with the Sun sign messages. We have the Page of Swords. Speak up, speak out, speak often. Let people know what it is that you need. Say thank you, say I love you. Use one of your biggest gifts, which is communication. It's going to open up new doors. It's going to help clear up any miscommunications. Remember what I said way back at the beginning, which is you want to tailor the message to each and every audience that you might be working with. That is going to optimize your outreach and your success, which obviously you are set up for this month, okay? So it's a good month. Your voice is going to be heard. This is also a great card for if you want to pitch an idea or create a presentation, put it into writing. That's going to help people wrap their heads around it. Okay, moving on to rising sign messages. This is where there's going to be some major change. Some of you are the agent of change and movement in your life because a Tower in the reverse state is basically saying rather than being beholden to the change, you're saying, I want to break this down or change this up. You're basically rebuilding, reimagining, and doing all the stuff that we saw here in this card, which is basically rewriting the story, okay? This is a really impactful month for you. Major shifts in relationship, in life purpose, in health, in where you're living. This is a chance to make those significant changes, and it can be for the better since the card is in the reverse. Libra moon, we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Some of you are selling or buying a house. Some of you are changing up your investments. You could be getting into or out of a relationship. Very similar to that Tower card, but we're looking at it from the perspective of resources and stability. So if there's anything that is destabilizing or that you're just done with, this is a chance for you to release that. If there's something that you need, it's a chance to reach for it because you're already 90% there because we had the 9 of Pentacles. So many of you, the end is within sight, and it's saying, don't give up, don't sell yourself short, be brave and be willing to reach for something that others may think is out of reach. It's actually very much within reach for you. There could be a surprise proposal or an offer that comes in that surpasses expectations as well. Let's now take a look at the final question. This can be anything that you have for me that I haven't yet had a chance to answer. So a burning question, something that you want additional details on, go ahead and express that question to the universe, and let's see what is coming through. Well, I quite like this. We have the Ace of Cups. The card is in the reverse state. Ultimately, this is very positive. If you're asking me a yes or no, this is a not yet, but it's not a flat no. What you need to do to get it in the upright position is basically take care of yourself. There's a little bit of healing to be done first. And this is a consistent message because the Lovers was reversed, the King of Cups was reversed, now the Ace of Cups is reversed. So believe in yourself, heal yourself, and know that if an opportunity comes to you, you're worthy, you're worth it. If it doesn't meet your expectations, you can say no. Don't sell yourself short and don't compromise. That's another piece of this. There could also just be a surprise opportunity on the horizon. Remember what came through when we were looking at wealth, which is just open your heart to receive. I know it's easier said than done, but I just feel like there's so much that wants to come through this month. Believe in yourself, let go of any sort of fears or anxieties, and keep me posted below and let me know how this month basically ends up for all of you. I really do appreciate all of the updates and seeing where you're at. So thank you in advance. That brings this reading to a close. If you would like to show some support, you can simply like and subscribe. That lets me know that you enjoyed this. It also helps other people find the channel. If you'd like to follow me on social media, it's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, no extra characters or spaces. And you can always go to my website to make sure that you're looking at the correct address. If you see any imposter, please block and report. Let me know about it as well. And simply remember, I do not offer private readings, nor do I use direct messages. Anyone doing so is not me. If you'd like to give back, you can do it right here on YouTube through a super sticker, super chat, or through a membership. Finally, I'd just like to end with some gratitude. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel, for basically hanging out for the last 40 to 50 minutes. I appreciate your time. And thanks for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. I wouldn't be here without your love and support. Take care and have a great month ahead.